All right, Dominick Izzo out here in Chicago. Izzo Wing Chun. Hope you guys are doing well. All right, this one's popular, so I'm going to get right into it. Paul Vunak. I have zero exposure or experience with Paul. Never met him. Never trained with him. I have trained or met with few guys who have trained with him when he was out here in the Chicago area. I know of like several of his students. I'm going to cut this right in the bud right now, right? Everyone, including myself, has a bit of fucking drama in this business, in martial arts, right? And it's always, everybody knows I had a falling out with my second Sifu. I've had these conversations with a Syed so that him and I will never have a falling out. I always know my place that, you know what, I put that man's my Sifu. We haven't trained in years, but he will always be that, right? So I think that so many people out there have this, this fucking top dog mentality. I'm not interested in being the top dog. Right? I like being me. And I keep seeing stuff online, people talking shit about Paul, all this stuff. I don't fucking care. I'm going to tell you flat out. Now, everyone knows I do not care for the Jeet Kune Do culture or community. I don't care for the mess that Bruce Lee left behind. I will tell you in my experience with the exposure I've seen to Jeet Kune Do, with what I've seen online, seen on person, if there is one person out there who has taken themselves as close as possible to what Jeet Kune Do in its form was supposed to be, it's Paul Vunak. There's no question. Paul Vunak doesn't look like anybody else. Yeah, his students look like him, as do a lot of us, right? We look like our students and try to find their way. Vunak was ahead of his time in making the discovery into everything that he saw as a passion. If Bruce Lee, who everybody tried to copy and model and bastardize, and Wing Chun or JKD is this, or no, it's not, it's supposed to be this, classical, non-classical. If there is one student who has continued to what Bruce Lee has said, which is make it your own, discover it to the rawest form, it's Paul Vunak. In my opinion, there's been nobody since him that has really exemplified or embodied what Jeet Kune Do is supposed to be. So I'm going to give him that credit. You guys want to know what my opinion of him is. I also think Paul's a different fucking animal. The guy's a fighter. He's a fighter. He's a savage. He's got the right mindset. He's fit. He's, he's crazy. He needs to be. You need to have that. Like I tell everybody all the time, I'm in control of 95% of who I am as a human being. There's 5% of me I don't want to control, and that's the savage animal that comes out when I need it. Paul very much knows what that is. Like I said, I've never met the man, never had a conversation with him. I could see that in what his students turned out to be and and the information he's put up online. I like it. I also want to show something here. Paul proves the Wing Chun chain punch, not the straight blast, the chain punch concept. He exemplifies it better than any other Wing Chun person I have ever fucking seen, right? So I have to give the man compliment. I'm going to play this segment here for a second, and then I'm going to break something down to show you what this is. Just watch for a few seconds.
Want them out in kicking range, so you have to catch them again to come back for the headbutt. Let me try this one more time, a little bit slower. So we come 1, 2. I pull into the headbutt, arming the forearm. Hit with the forearm, come back again, hit again, okay, come back with the knee, and come back with a headbutt. Let's get.
Vunak's movement, right? He's athletic, he's erratic, he's intense. I've talked about it several times. The Wing Chun chain punch, right, is one punch goes forward, one comes back. One goes forward, one comes back. How many times have I said in videos that that's not what it is. It's not a straight blast where you're throwing that reciprocation of movements down. What it is with one hand goes forward and strikes, as it comes back, another one replaces, either an elbow, a knee, whatever you want it to be. Watch this again with no volume. We'll play, I think we'll get a little bit of speed for it. When Paul does this, and he's got his sequence, right? I'll let this play. I want no volume, but he's going forward, coming back, pulling in, then he pushes away. He is absolutely exemplifying more than any other Wing Chun person has the concept of fansao, continuation of strike. Watch him hit, pull the person back in, push the person away. He's constantly delivering energy into someone. He's using his whole body. This is Bruce Lee's inch power. Everything you could see Paul do is that 1-inch power. Watch it again in slow motion with no volume. Hey, I'm going to tell you flat out too, for me personally, this movement, I know a lot of you JKD guys do this. You won't see me incorporate a back fist, that rolling over the top. And that's just a structure thing, right? That's just a structure thing. And that comes from jump sao energy. I'll talk about later on about separating that elbow from the rest of your structure. Although it's fluid, it doesn't have structure for smaller people. So I will get into jump sao and why I just don't like the back fist later on down the road. But outside of that, that continuation of the body chain punch concept. Look at him. He pulls in, then pushes away, then brings back in, then pushes away, then brings back in. If you ever wonder what the chain punch concept in Wing Chun is, again, no one. I've never seen anyone demonstrate the Wing Chun chain punch concept better than Paul Vunak. So a lot of you guys are like, oh my God, do a video on Paul, this and that. I think Vunak has done more for martial arts than most of us ever will. I have to give him credit on that. I have no affiliation with him. I've never met him. There was several guys out here in the Chicago area that I know trained underneath him. Some have great things to say about him, and then some talk shit about personality. But then again, too, I do too, so I don't hide that fact. I think that, again, I will give him credit. If there's one person who has embodied what Bruce Lee meant by Jeet Kune Do and what it's supposed to be, I haven't seen anybody better than Paul. I really haven't. There's been a lot of guys that do some great contribution to it. But Paul, he's just been his own man. And that's exactly what Bruce Lee wanted people to leave behind. Said it a million times. Jeet Kune Do is nothing more than Bruce Lee's expression of Wing Chun. But there was no money to be made in letting a dead man's notes go to waste. So of course, let's put it together. Let's create programs. Let's create books. The exact thing he didn't want to happen. Paul learned, went out on his own, and kept learning and incorporated so much shit. You can't find, there is no pre-Paul Vunak. There's not. Other people you can see, like the other Wing Chun people I criticize and the other JKD people I criticize, you could all tell who they came from, right? You could tell a Vunak guy. You could tell one of my students. You could tell Wang Sheng Lung's in lineage. You could tell Eamon Bostepi's lineage. You can't tell who Paul came from. You can't. He doesn't look like anybody else except for himself. So Paul Vunak, a lot of you guys want to know my opinion on him. I think he's got the single greatest expression of Jeet Kune Do since Bruce Lee's death. He exemplifies what it should be. I think he's done more for martial arts than most anybody else out there. I think he demonstrates more the fansao, the continuation of strike mentality from the chain punch concept in Wing Chun, better than anybody else out there. I really do. So that's my 2 cents on Paul Vunak and what he's done for the community. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hit that like button, hit that thanks button, send a comment in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next video.